So you found some oil in your backyard? Well, not to worry, because we got the right nation to help you out. Make sure you don't lose that oil. That's right, we're playing as the United States of America, and we're going to be abusing the newest patch, as well as we'll be hunting for the world's oil supply to safekeep it, of course. First thing we're going to do is we're going to disband 2 of our armies, make sure we have everybody in 1 main army. We start with 11 units, but don't let that fool you. We are literally the most overpowered nation in this game, and you'll see in a few moments why. We're going to go ahead and we're going to start researching nationalism from day 1 so we can do our journal entry, Manifest Destiny, where we get basically claims on all of the American provinces under temporary control of Mexico, as well as we'll be improving relations, guaranteeing independence, bankrolling, and even request investment rights from Texas. This way we get our relations up to 20 significantly faster, and we can annex them before the Mexicans finish their war against Texas. We're going to go up to medium taxation. We're going to add consumption tax on tobacco, services, and that's it for now. And we're going to focus majority of our industry early on in the states of Pennsylvania and New York, the most overpowered states at the start of the campaign for the Americans. And of course, we'll be slowly expanding our industry all over the country. The best part about the Americans is that they are just so overpowered. They've got all the resources in the new world. They don't even need to expand, but we're still going to do it because we want to take your resources too, not just ours. Why would we not take it? It's free real estate. That's why our expansion is going to first off see the conquest of all of South America as subject. Why are we doing that? Well, because we're going to establish our power block. NATO. You thought NATO was established in the 20th century? Well, you're wrong, because NATO's here and NATO's here to stay, and it's going to add everybody to the power block because everybody needs to be a part of NATO. You will be a part of NATO too, whether you like it or not. We can get from day 1 a trade agreement with the British, which is actually amazing because we have a lot of things we want to be trading with the British, and we're going to be importing a little bit of grain from the Russians, the Dutch, and whoever else we can. Grain in this patch is a lot more important because we want to avoid starvation, which leads to direct loss of population. The rest of our authority points we're going to use on greener grass campaigns on Pennsylvania, New York, and the state of Ohio gozaimasu. Now, if we really want to be cheese balls, we can go to 100% very high government wages, which means we can get one more decree for the state of Indiana, which is, by the way, where all the Indians originate from, in case you're wondering. Totally true history. They were born in Indiana and they migrated to India in Asia. Don't ask me how. Much like the healthcare industry in the US, this was a scam. We're gonna go back to actually very low government wages. Now we have a lot of extra money, so what we're gonna be doing is we're gonna be spamming some more construction sectors. Again, primarily in New York and Pennsylvania. Say get 8 construction sectors in New York and then follow that up with some iron mines. Iron and basic raw materials are gonna be the most important thing to spam at the start of the campaign. 6 iron mines right after the construction sectors. That's the cue for now. We're gonna add more stuff as we go along so we see what exactly we need. We also want to keep our standard of living as high as possible to attract migrants, but we'll work on that in a few moments. It's not necessarily the biggest of priorities for now because we're going to be getting our migrants from attacking nations, especially attacking South America for that matter. Make sure you also start colonizing the Oklahoma state, and we're going to be getting some rivals. Spain, famous rival, Netherlands, and Brazil, of course. We're not going to get the Russians as rivals because if we do, it's likely that they're going to proclaim guarantee the Mexicans, and we don't want to do that. In fact, we're going to be improving relations with the Russians just so we make our lives a little bit easier in the process of getting the American company in Alaska established by buying it from the Russians. We'll be going for level 3 education and law enforcement, and because of that, we're going to be switching to dedicated police force since we have quite a lot of support for this right now. We got atmospheric engine so we can get some progress for water tube boilers. Always go for the extra technology bonus. It is by far the best option. Our first war is going to be against Argentina. Early on, we want to push into all of South America whilst we're also pushing into Mexico and grabbing our lands from the Mexicans so we can fast get the principles for our power block, which in turn means we can scale up insanely quick and just conquer the world and make them our little schnappeldupe, because that is the ultimate goal for all American playthroughs, let's face it. And also, this is what the Monroe Doctrine was all about. Literally puppeting South America, okay? At least in my universe it is. The way that I judge it is basically when I'm losing about 10 to 20,000 shillings over here, that's when I need to stop building construction sectors and I need to start building iron mines and everything else required for construction input. There you go. We got the state. Now let's make sure our generals are defending this particular front. I've also changed over to public trams, which is going to increase increase the demand for engines. We do start with the motor industry and it doesn't have any demand, so we're making it actually useful now. And we reached the minus 20 something thousand that I was hoping for. Now we can start getting more tooling workshops as well. Say 3 more tooling workshops, and then we're gonna need some railways because we are starting to get infrastructure issues in both of the states. 1 railway in each state for now should be fine. And then queue up even more iron mines. There you go. 3 more iron mines in Pennsylvania should do the trick. Hey, we got our first protectorate. Hot diggity dong along. I'm also going to be improving relations with my brand new subject, and I'm going to get more subjects right next to them. The Trail of Tears, despite our efforts, our efforts to remove the Cherokee from the, we are horrible. What? That is actually horrible. All this time I thought I'm helping out the Cherokee, but no, I'm the reason they were getting massacred. Unfortunately, we also failed to get Texas before it got annexed by the Mexicans. Oh, look at that. Our brave boys have landed and are about to spread freedom to Chile. And now it's also time to queue up universities. Now we've got 6 starting universities, but we want to get a lot more than that. At least 1 in most of my states, so I get a little bit of extra qualifications for pops. And in the state of Massachusetts, I'm going to get more than a few simply because I want to roleplay, and Massachusetts is like the brain of the entire country, right? We want to have as many universities in there up until we reach our innovation cap, essentially. Because as you probably know, more of the same type of building in a state, the more throughput you get. Just realized I made a mistake. I should have annexed the Indian territory first before I got my subjects in South America, because now my subjects have 0.20 increased liberty desire from having annexed another one of the subjects, namely the Indian territory. Gonna reduce their payment to make up for that a little bit, and we can also build some buildings in their countries to increase economic dependence on us. But yeah, the point is that if you want to follow along with me, just annex the Indians before anything else. It's time that the Mexican people pay for what they done. How dare they exist right next to us by our border? It's unacceptable. We're gonna be taking all of these lands that are rightful American clay, and one issue is that despite them being confident right now, they might be less confident after we recruit more of our conscripts. So I'm gonna recruit a few conscripts, not too many, just a few, and then I'm gonna add more infantry and mobile artillery conscripts once the war has begun. Reason we're doing that is because getting all the conscripts now will lower their level from confident to worried, and they might back down, and then everything that's not a primary demand, they're just simply gonna not give us if they back down. There you go. They already went to level of confidence being uncertain. Now we're close to starting the war, so I'm going to add a few more things, including war reparations, liberate the country of Maya in the south by the border with the Central American states, and I'm going to revoke their claim on Texas. Why not? An outspoken abolitionist has been beaten with the cane by John Calhoun, a slave owner. I think John Calhoun needs to be arrested, scumbag. How dare he beat people with the cane? That's so Dr. House of him. And we also got dedicated police force. That's pretty cool. So next, we're gonna go for secret police, which is gonna make it easier for us to suppress political movement activism. We're also gonna be designating the war target as their capital, so we go straight for the jugular. And seeing as we got dedicated police force, we can go for level 5 law enforcement, which means we're gonna get radicals from political movement minus 25%, as well as turmoil penalty reduced by 50%. The Finney Proviso. Should we make the western states pro-slavery, abolish slavery in there, or make it a state-by-state issue? I think we should abolish slavery in the West, as we should abolish it everywhere in our country, because it's just not efficient. This was an extremely easy war. The Mexicans really do not stand much of a chance against the Americans. We're also going to be researching pharmaceuticals, so we get access to public health insurance, which we want to be gunning for. And we're going to queue up modern sewage, joint stock company, so we got our first company, as well as Bessemer process, and we'll work our way towards mechanical workshops. There you go. War in Mexico is done. That means we've gotten all the lands we need to get, and now we can also fight against the little natives that decided that they could. Well, guess what, natives? You really cannot. We'll have to get some more farms. We're gonna do some maize farms. Maybe 1 or 2 farms in each state should be enough for the early phase of the campaign, I guess. Okay, we still need a little bit of extra universities to reach the innovation cap, so we're gonna prioritize those. We're also doing pretty okay with our economy. Essentially, what we want to do in the early phase is just spam as many tooling welding workshops, iron mines, and construction sectors to continue to increase our construction sector size to basically industrialize way faster than anybody else can. And the CIA has been officially established. Totally something we would cheer for, especially if you're South American, am I right? Another day, another South American nation getting liberated from the vile stench of being a free nation. I'm gonna make some changes. I'm also gonna be researching quinine before anything else because we need to start mapping the American western frontier so we can buy the Oregon area from the British. We shall fight them on the beaches. We shall fight them on the land, all in the name of making sure South America gets the proper development it needs. These people need to be helped. All right, now we're going to be attacking more South Americans. The idea behind this is that we want to keep our infamy below 50. So when we get close to 50, we stop. Reason we're doing that is because we don't want our subjects to get extremely high liberty desire. They already are getting actually pretty freaking high liberty desire for that matter because of the annexation of the Indian territories, which was, again, my bad. Also, just want to point out, if you guys want, I can do a second part for this campaign if we get 4,000 or 5,000 likes in the first couple of weeks, and I know that people are interested in seeing that second part. All right, now the effect from having annexed the Indian states is gone. It only lasts for a little bit of time, so now we're getting 0.17 reduction in liberty desire with all of our subjects, which is amazing. Okay, we can get a secondary company aside from the starting William Crampton Son Company, and that's going to be the New York Premium Metal, which is huge because it affects the iron mines, the steel mills, and the lead mines, all of which we need to fuel our industry. Oh my god, loan interest rate minus 20%. That is insane. That is actually insane. Means that right now we're paying 1,000 for interest, which is really nothing. We do need to split up our army though, because we have a secondary front now. We want to make sure we don't lose out on that particular front and send this second army to defend here until we push them completely out of the Amazon area. Right now, the only defenders are the Venezuelan Brave 1 Brigade. I feel like we can make naval invasions our thing. You know, like every country has a thing. The British have curry. The Russians have vodka. We can have naval invasions. I feel like that's fair. What do you guys think? Nah, I'm just kidding. I know that we have our thing too. It's called... Hold up. I can think of something. I don't want to say oil. McDonald's! It was McDonald's all along. Apparently, we can also invite the Mayans to our power block. Is this not the most cursed thing you can possibly see? Defensive pact with the British Empire means the two strongest nations in the game are fighting against the world. There's only one winner in that situation, and it's not the world. Now, seeing as we also got quinine, we can map the American frontier. We're gonna choose the great General Winfield Scott. He lived between 1786 and 1866, so he saw and he served in the American War of 1812 against the British. Then he fought in the Indian Wars, the Mexican-American War, even the Civil War. He literally saw everything. This man quite freaking literally saw the transition from muskets to rifles to everything. It is crazy what it would have been to be in his shoes. Not to mention, he lived 80 years old in a time period when living to 80 years old was very difficult. It's that time of the year where we need to expand our farms again. Croatian mass migration. Alrighty there, buddy. What is happening in Europe? You gotta tell me right now. Okay, yeah, I see what's happening. The Ottomans are at war with the Egyptians, and I feel like the Croatians are not happy about that or something. Oh, wait, no. What the hell happened in Austria? Okay, I see why the Croatians are leaving. It's because their areas have massive starvation issues. Wonderful news. We have mapped the Oregon Trail, and hey, we got a second mandate thanks to our amazing multiple power block members, which will increase in size in a few moments because I'm down to 23 infamy now. I always found it funny that Ecuador actually uses US currency. They use as their national currency American dollars. I'm not sure if that's the most big brain thing I've ever seen or just the weirdest thing ever. Also always wondered, how did that even happen in the first place? I guess it's only fitting that they join us since they are big fans of using the American dollars. Am I right? Oh, we failed that expedition. I clicked the wrong button. No, that is horrible. Okay, well, that sucks. Now we have to wait until we're at peace before we can send Mr. Winfield again. Oh, Ooh, Peru, Bolivia also formed. Hot diggity dongalong. It is a minor power, so that one extra mandate that I'm seeing right there. Let's see how much infamy it would be for Peru, Bolivia. 21. That really is not that bad. 21 plus 27 is 48. So we're still below 50, actually. I think I do need to get some more units, though, before I attack anybody else, because I have basically just been relying on the starting soldiers. At least let's get a few extra artillery pieces in here. Oh my god, we're getting Bosnians in here, too. Yeah, we can also sway the Chileans with obligations in our invasion of Peru, Bolivia. We're gonna do that simply so we have a land border with Peru, Bolivia, so we don't need to stress about having to do a naval invasion in there. Oh, you actually could call in all of our subjects with obligations, for that matter. After we pass this health system, or if we manage to pass it, I really need to start working my way towards banning slavery. We kind of avoided doing it for the first few years, but it's time. It's actually time. 1850 and we still have slavery is a little bit sad, in my opinion. It's kind of like living in 2024 and not having free healthcare, if you know what I mean. Can you imagine if that was the case IRL? That would be insane, wouldn't it? It is so Jover, boys. It is mega Jover, in fact, because now we can start increasing our standard of living by, quite frankly, just maxing out our health insurance system. We can get 2 flat standard of living from that alone, and it only is going to cost roughly around 600 bureaucracy, which is really not much. Am I surprised that we have a pro-slavery movement? No. Is that why I've basically built all of my barracks in the north? Yes, that's pretty much exactly why. Our second principle is going to be the freedom of movement, because the last tier, freedom of movement 3, will give us 50% mass migration attraction, as well as more migration attraction from the production methods on the art academy and the university. The South declares secession. A house divided against itself cannot stand. Time to wipe out the South. We're going to need to get some new generals, and I'm going to apparently get Robert Lee. Maybe this should not be an available option for me for very obvious reason. Thomas Jackson. Okay, really. Who am I fighting as here? Like, actually, come on. Is this actually a joke? Why are all of my generals Dixie culture? Oh, wait, actually, is Ulysses as Grand Dixie? I'm not sure. Much like it historically happened, the North will win simply because we have insane amounts of pops and we're gonna throw these bodies at the enemies. And obviously, we're also gonna be going for the option which bans slavery. The Great Britain's offering us support in exchange for investment, right? Look at our units gain control of Missouri. Wait, wasn't Missouri on the northern side when the Civil War happened? Hold on a second here. It's basically impossible, and it was impossible for the South to win under any circumstance. Let's make that extremely clear. There was 0 chance for the South to win, okay? Because I know some of you be like, yo, alternate history video, what if the South won? Oh, shut up. You know that would be extremely unrealistic. Come on. No, I gotta say, Winfried Scott picture or in-game character is surprisingly accurate. This is literally very similar to how the man actually looked like historically. And there you have it. The South has been defeated. Now we have the reconstruction of the nation. We have a few new journal entries, and by doing these journal entries, we'll be able to properly reintegrate the South. And speaking of, we actually need to incorporate the South now, because they are not incorporated states anymore, and that is going to kill our economy if we do not incorporate them as soon as possible. I'm actually going to incorporate Texas and Oklahoma too, because I can, why not? So one of these missions literally asks us to reincorporate the states and have loyalist Dixie pops in there, which we can get by providing them with jobs and just making their life a little bit better. Also, having health insurance really helps out with that a lot, actually. Abraham's our new president. Oh, Maschnitzeldorf. We got Abrahamicus Lincolnus, the abolitionist. Well, guess what, buddy? You're a little bit late here. We already have passed that legislation. Oh my god, we can get the trade unions in government? I'm smelling a little bit of a communist run, maybe? Who's to say? Who's to say? The great heresy shall begin, maybe? Alright, it's also time that we expand our construction sectors. Let's max out both Pennsylvania and New York. And I know what you're thinking. Ludi, you crazy? What are you doing? You're losing money right now on very high taxes. I know. Don't worry about it. I've got a plan. Trust me. In case you're wondering, my plan involves doing this. We're gonna be privatizing all of our urban buildings for now, because if we do all the buildings, we're we're gonna guess basically we're gonna reach our cap instantly if we do that. We don't want to do that now, do we? Also, make sure we go around and we upgrade all of our production methods to the most efficient one. Changing your production methods really can make a massive difference in a campaign. I'm also gonna give it a shot. We've got a 4% chance of passing proportional taxation, but switching to this means we're actually gonna start making insane amounts of money because our economy already is basically a capitalist economy, even though we don't have laissez-faire yet. And it looks like we did some more journal entries. We gained the western parts of our country as Yankee/Dixie homelands now. Oh no! Abraham dies, and we got Elihu as the president. Historical, by the way. Elihu Marsh. Clearly this happened. Well, technically, half of that did happen. I've had enough of migrants in the Midwest, so I'm gonna be incorporating some more of the Midwestern states. You know what? Screw it. I'm gonna incorporate everything. It's time that we start taking full advantage of our amazing nation. And we've increased our construction sectors a little bit, but I feel confident I can do even better than that. So what I'm gonna do is I'm also gonna be starting to privatize the mining and industrial sector for that matter. Also, a part of my reconstruction plan is I'm building a lot more buildings in the southern Dixie area, so I increase the loyalty of the Dixie Pops, and I can do my journal entry too. Starting to work, 2 of the 17 states are now loyal again. Holy snaps, we got proportional taxation. Freedom of movement 3 is achieved, so that means that we get 20% overall migration attraction from the Art Academy production method, as well as another 20% migration attraction from the universities. An offer for Alaska. Whoa. Yeah, hell yeah. I would really love Alaska. And we also have the populating the Americas journal entry, meaning we get for every incorporated state in Western America 25% migration attraction. And there you go. We also just annexed the former Alaskan company that the Russians had. Juicy gold fields, future oil fields though. The real juice is in the oil actually. The Oregon Treaty between the people of Great Britain and the American rebellious former Great Britain peeps as well. So yeah, we get 3 states from the British for free, talking about Washington, Oregon, and Idaho's, all of which together have around 1.5 million pops, as well as these states have a lot of logging camps, coal mines. Well, if it isn't the Joshua Norton would-be king of the American people, let him proclaim. People will laugh, but well, how long they're gonna laugh, that's a different story, because Joshua might have a chance in this particular playthrough. Now, that being said, we are currently, GDP-wise at least, the 4th great power and 5th overall from prestige. We've doubled down on our construction, and we're gonna get more construction sectors. We've actually just unlocked the steel frame building production method, so we're gonna do that, starting with the states of New York and Pennsylvania, of course. Our standard of living is also increasing massively, and we're continuing our expansion to getting puppets in South America and such, and we also made them puppets instead of protectorates, most of them. Europe is pretty much exactly the same as it was at the start of the campaign. Nothing has happened actually for some reason. The Ottomans are once more at war with the Egyptians, and they're probably gonna lose once more, and for the first time in literally forever. I'm not attacking South Africa. You happy now? I'm tired of seeing the comments go, Ludi, you always attack South Africa. Ha. Look, it's free, all right? Look at it. It's no one's touching it. And now we're also trying to get restricted child labor, which is going to allow us to go up to level 4 with our education institution, meaning we've got even more max innovation. Right now we're at 177 actually, so I have to get a few more universities for that matter. Oh look, we also managed to went to study phase with restricted child labor. That is amazing. To double down on amazing stuff, we got Portuguese mass migrating, Armenians mass migrating, everyone mass migrating to us right now. Yay, we got restricted child labor. Okay, now we can go for compulsory primary education. Okay boys, that is gonna take priority, of course, big priority, because that means we can reach up to level 5 max education institution, and as such 50 max innovation investment. Let's go ahead and spam a few of these government administration buildings to make sure we have enough bureaucracy. Holy moly, finally we got some good migrants in here, guys. Yay. And also thanks to Joshua Norton, because we're basically finishing compulsory primary education instantly. It is ridiculously fun. I'm also queuing up some more barracks because I'm going to be attacking the Brazilian Brazilians the final free nation in the south. And they surprisingly got quite a few numbers. Only 7 million GDP, but they're fielding 55 million, 55 battalions. That is impressive. And there you have it. We got compulsory primary education. Let's go make sure we get this level 5 now. And we do have a little bit of support for laissez-faire. I'm gonna attempt it. This is basically the final thing that would make my country insanely OP. I screwed up getting universal suffrage so early on. Didn't give me the power for the industrialists to pass laissez-faire, so I kind of had to struggle with it. Now we only have 20% stall chance, so it's a lot better than it was before. It was like 80% stall chance before. It's also important whenever you get the Statue of Liberty to build it as soon as possible, because it gives us 25% migration attraction. Even more migration attraction. There you go. And yeah, I'm getting so many migrants. It's like continuous pop-ups of migration. Also, from the last elections, Joshua Norton became officially the brand new president of the country. So in order to solidify his rule, we just got to go for monarchism. We got a lot of support for this. Question is, do we cancel laissez-faire and go for monarchism, or do we give this another shot? Let's just say if it doesn't go to study phase next, I'm going to cancel and go for monarchy. Oh, this is perfect. We got construction sector building throughput in Pennsylvania alongside the Statue of Liberty right next to that in New York. So these two states are basically the brunt of my entire operation here. Does Hawaii actually have an army, or can we oh no, they do have 5 units. Okay, let's just make a small little contingent of say 20 units should be enough, and use these bad boys to make Hawaii the 51st state. Wait, Hawaii is the 51st state, right? Am I wrong? World's fastest naval invasion right there. Make sure we incorporate them. And I just realized, guys, I don't think I've ever done a Confederate States run, have I? I really don't think I have a Confederates video. Maybe if you guys want, let me know in the comment section. Maybe I can actually do a Confederate run where we just try and survive as the Confederates, take over the US, and just go down a very disturbing alternate path, let's say. Curious how that would actually even play out. Maybe we could become a monarchy as the Confederates a little bit earlier. Also, gotta say I'm a little bit disappointed since I tried my best to reincorporate Dixie, but I lost them as one of my primary cultures. I don't know why. I've literally been building pretty much only in the southern bits, and I even used the emergency relief decree. I tried everything, dude. I just couldn't get enough loyalists in the south to keep Dixie as one of the primary cultures. So we only have Yankee now as primary culture, which means that Dixie, even though it still says prime, is this even a bug? I don't know what's happening. Like officially we only have Yankee as primary, but I still see both as primary, and we are getting pops converted to Dixie as well as converted to Yankee, but it's just like more converted to Yankee now. So I don't know. I really don't know what's happening with that. So how do we have 600,000 Russians? What the schnaps? When did that happen? Looks like nobody is helping out the poor old Brazilians, so I'm going to be dividing them. I'm basically, from my war goals, trying to split them up in as many little states as possible. Oh, they're fearful. Oh, I got to make more primary demands, because if they back up, at least I want to make sure they split up in 4 pieces, which means I can just attack all 4 pieces separately when the truce is over, and make all 4 of them, of course, my subject. Now, another really awesome company to go for is the Carnagerie Steel Company, which is a unique American company. We're basically doubling down on our steel, coal, iron production, and even getting railway and shipyard throughput bonuses. Gotta love the big brain of the AI right here. They're basically attacking my subjects in New Granada in Argentina instead of taking care of the massive invasion I'm doing that's taking over their capital and the war goals. You would think the AI would be more interested in defending war goals than attacking areas that have no actual significance. Hey yo, oh oh, we are a monarchy, we can maybe even go for Council Republica United Sovereign Archduchy, the real name of the United States, guys. Come on, this is what it was meant to be called all along. Now that does mean that we have an emperor, not even a king, but an emperor. We are an empire, that's for sure. And it also means we got an achievement, Emperor Norton. Hello, skibbity boo, skibbity bay, unlocked. Yo, hey, hey, look at that, beautiful. As US become a monarchy with Joshua Norton as monarch. Hell yeah. I found out about this when I did my last US run. I didn't even know that's an achievement, and I wanted to get it for this run, to be fair. Oh, what? The colors changed. That's awesome. I like this new color a lot better. The cool part about this is that Joshua Norton also is a big fan of multiculturalism, so getting this particular law means that we're gonna have insane amounts of population migrating to our lands. Even the Han Chinese are gonna love coming here. Look at the new and improved Brazil. We got Brazil here, Confederate of the Equator, Paulistania. What? Hold up a second. Now that just sounds wrong to me. And we also have Minas Gerais. Yeah, so these are all going to be either diplomatically or not so diplomatically be a part of us. We could, if we really wanted to, just add them to the trade league. We don't need to actually murder them, but I'd rather have them as subjects, to be honest. And speaking of, we're going to use a little bit of our infamy to lower Peru Bolivia to a protectorate level 2. Holy snaps, we went to drafting on the first tick? Ain't no freaking way. And there you have it, boys. We now accept pretty much everybody, regardless of their race, religion, or creed. Check this out. 100%, 90, 85, 85, 75. This is actually insane. Oh my god, I love this. Let's also go for protected speech, which is going to give technology spread plus 25 next. And we also got wage subsidies enforced on us by the trade leagues, which is honestly not too bad. We do get a little bit of extra food security from this, so that's pretty cool. I'm sorry, what is mass migrating to us? Is that even an actual pop? What? South? Okay, I think that's from the Indian subcontinent. Makes sense. Not gonna try to pronounce it though. And we got our friendly neighborhood Ukrainians also migrating to our lands. Now, we're gonna wait a little bit till we get less infamy, and we're gonna start the munching into the Brazilian bits. When is our truce gonna finish here? We have 3 years left. Okay, that's more than enough time to get ready for that. You might be wondering, Ludi, why would you ever get migration control as the Americans? Well, hear me out, okay? First off, migration control means that pops need to have at least 60 acceptance to migrate to our country, okay? Now check out our cultures. The minimum acceptance is 75. That is for Iroquois. Everybody in the world has minimum 75. That is above 6. So even with migration control, it's the same like having no migration control. Only difference is that by going for migration control, we just made happy 3 of our most powerful interest groups. Holy snaps. All of the Brazilian states are ridiculously low infamy now. So now, not only are we the world's first nation by GDP, but we're also the 4th when it comes to population with 46 million. Look at this particular line going up here. It is ridiculous. And check out our cultural map mode, boys. Look at this. Marathis, South North Andeans, Dakotas, Russians, Dixies, Yankees, Englishmen, Maya, Poles. What is this, man? This is actually insane to look at here. And yes, we have pretty much the entirety of South America now, with of course the enclaves of the British, the Dutch, and the French being an exception. And all of these people are also migrating to our lands in droves, as they are a part of the greatest trade alliance ever. Also, another cool little thing is that we have 12 greener grass campaigns, and we can get another one actually in Haiti. That is, of course, because we are in monarchy, so we have extra authority points now too. I hope you guys enjoy the monarchist American path. If you did, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe, especially if you enjoyed the video or you learned something from it. Until the next one, love you all and take care of yourselves.